Hello, my name is Kevin Carson. I'm the proud superintendent of the Sussex County Vocational Technical School District. Welcome to our podcast, Hot Topics at Tech. I can't think of a hotter topic than the construction of our new high school. It's certainly been a long time coming, and we're well underway, and I'm pleased to have two of the people who have been very involved in the process from the beginning. Mr. Hud Athey, who is the Director of Administrative Services for our school district, and Mr. Bassett, the Director of Business Relations and Client Relations for the RYJ Construction Management Company. And so we're glad you're taking the time to look at our podcast. So I've got a couple of questions for these gentlemen, and they can fill you in on the progress that we've made so far with our school construction project. So the first goes to Mr. Athey. What's been involved in the planning process so far, and what I'm sure it's been simple without any issues or bumps in the road, but could you give us a rundown of what's been happening the last few years?
Sure. Again, it's pretty straightforward, just picking out some shapes and throwing them on a paper. But in all reality, it has been a good process. A lot of people involved with that. But from the inception, even just trying to figure out the best placement on campus for a school. Once we had architects and construction management firm involved, we had stakeholders from all different areas. We had students, as well as staff, faculty, and some outside representatives looking at design, as well as what would be involved in bringing our vocational programs up to current standards. So moving through all those, getting through the design phase, now looking at the minor points, and as we're moving through the construction side of it, still have some things going on there, but it's definitely a lot of things involved, but it's been a great team, everyone involved with the planning. Yep.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know, the original school was built in 1958, 1959, and still being used today, thanks to a lot of great work by our maintenance team and folks along the way. But there just comes a point in time when you have to do something different, and because of the growth of the school district, in both the day and the evening programs, adult education programs, the necessity to build a new structure was certainly important, and it's been certainly exciting for everyone. As Mr. Athey said, we were fortunate to be able to pick up the services of Richard Y. Johnson, Construction Management out of Lincoln, Delaware. And Mr. Bassett has been with us from the beginning, helping to guide us through this process as we go forward. And so, Brian, there's a lot of dirt moving around, a lot of things happening. As people go up and down Route 9, they get to see changes that are occurring along the way. Can you give us an idea of what's involved with construction management and what you see going forward for the next 6 months regarding the project itself, and what you always hate to put a schedule on the table because there's so many things that can happen, but can you give us an idea of what we have to look forward to?
Sure, no problem. And first off, it's an honor. I think this is the first podcast, so the first set of guests. Congratulations, Hud. It's an honor, and actually it's an honor to be a part of this project. It's taken over 2 years of just planning, and that's not counting the years that you all worked to get your certificate of necessity and even get to the point that we get to put shovels in the ground and actually start construction. For a construction manager, we always tell people we don't design the building, we build it. It's up to the architects to give us the set of prints, but we're always involved in pre-construction. And the pre-construction for this one has been amazing because over 2 years you learn so much about the program, but to realize that you operate what seems like 24 hours a day with adult ed and regular education and the specific nature of the instruction. It's just made it even more exciting. I mean, it's already the biggest school in Delaware's history, but it's also going to be, very specialized. You're going to have a cafe, you're going to have welding areas, you're just going to have some unique things that you don't get in normal buildings. And it's also been exciting to see what you currently have and don't have. You don't have an auditorium for your performances. You don't have a lecture hall and training areas for your staff. So these last 2 years have, we've discovered all those things and then got the building designed to that point. And then we finally get to the construction management part, which is, breaking ground and starting. In the last, 6 months or so, we've made a mess out there. That's a part of the process. But when you're driving down the road, you might see a dust cloud, but you don't really see what's going on. But it's the most important part of the project. If you don't get the base right, then going vertical makes no sense. You have to get the underground correct and the site ready, and that's what we've been doing. We've been putting in underground utilities, stormwater management, roads, parking. We've even been able to put a first coat of asphalt down on the roads and parking, which has been very valuable as we've got this little taste of winter this year to have those roads to work on. Moving athletic fields, getting your turf ready for your track area, taking down the football stadium. I mean, there's just been a ton of work going on and getting the building pad prepped just to get it compacted at this size so that we could start going vertical. But the good news is that's all nearing completion. We've started foundations, started some concrete work, and we'll be pouring some concrete on slabs soon and doing the underground MEP in those areas soon. And this building is so unique because of its size. It's not like a house where you do foundation, and then you do the exterior walls, and then the roof, and you can check it off as you go along. This thing is so big that we've divided it up into about 10 different zones, and we're going to swing around these zones over the next 2 years of construction. So, for an example, we'll do the foundations in the first 3 sections, and then we'll go to the next 3 sections in a few months. But every time we leave an area, a trade's coming behind us. So you're going to see steel start going up in June, where we're doing foundation work now. And it'll take, a couple months in that area, and then we'll move to the next section of steel. And, the steel, which is that vertical structure, should be done by next April. You'll get a chance to see the full building. But it's unique that we're swinging around. And once you start getting a few sections ahead, you're going to have steel going in one area, and another area is going to be putting, cabinets in and painting and flooring going in. So you're going to have an opportunity for the students to see a lot of trades at once. And it's just a unique part of doing a building of this size, the way we will break it up and swing around and get all that done. But, we do have some milestones. One of them is going vertical, and when you see that steel start to go up this summer, you'll get a lot of people probably say, it doesn't look that big. It's just that one section. Give us till April to get all the way around on that. But then we'll have roofing. We'll start this fall, which is amazing to think about. And then, next fall and winter, there'll be exterior walls going up. Start to see some of that masonry veneer, kind of your exterior look in some parts of the building. It's going to be such a crazy active place over the next 24 months. But the good news for staff and students is you don't have to wait 24 months to see what it looks like. There's going to be areas that we're going to be able to walk through and see. And, having been there and done that before, when you can walk in the cafeteria and feel the size of it, or you can walk in, the auto tech space and kind of feel it for the first time after just seeing it on drawings, it's exciting. And we're going to have spaces ready for you to do that within those next 6 months.
It's certainly exciting, and the details that have been involved with the project, as Mr. Athey said, and as you said, have come with a lot of work and a lot of thank yous. We have had large advisory committee input into the design of the building and what materials and what equipment that we need. Our staff has been really involved with suggestions and decision making regarding the space altogether. I don't know that everybody got 100% of what they wanted, but when you look at the whole package, it's certainly going to be a much better teaching and learning environment for our day and for our evening programs, and ultimately for our students who are going to benefit from this new building for generations to come, quite frankly. There'll be additional construction. We're going to build this building, we're going to move in, we're going to do some demo work. There's going to be a lot of different things that go forward with that. You mentioned the pre-planning that went with the project, and there are a lot of thank yous for the project itself. Our Board of Education, our Sussex County legislators, the governor, and other folks who gave the approvals and allowed us to proceed forward. So, as you said, this is our first podcast. There'll be several others about other topics that are happening here at Tech, hot topics at Tech, and we'll be circling back periodically. You two gentlemen will be invited back to the table again so that we can continue to have these conversations. And I want to say thank you to Mr. Dukes and our media production team and staff for assisting us with the podcast today. We certainly appreciate your involvement with this, and we're looking forward to continuing to bring you updates and topics of importance. So until we meet again, work hard, take care of each other, be safe, go Ravens.